know Gio covered it yesterday, all right, but I've got to talk about this. It's quite funny. I did my little ranty, miserable video yesterday, and a few of you liked it. To be fair, more misery, please, Gonzo. More rants, more grumpiness. Someone said, "Oh, you do grumpy really well." Yeah, thank you. There'll be people that know me that could have told you that a long time ago. You know the rumour if you listen to all the news yesterday. That Newcastle are now in for a gird. Knife for gird, our number one defensive target. Newcastle might be about to poach him. Now, the ridiculous thing is, I often see this happening. Do you remember Milenkovic? That was the guy's name, Fiorentina. I never particularly wanted him. I didn't think we were particularly in for him. And then there was lots of rumours that we were in for him last season. And then there was a point where like Tottenham were going to come in. And then everyone was going, man, I can't believe it. Tottenham have beaten us to a player. I don't think this is the same. I think we are genuinely in for this player. I think genuinely that the negotiations have been done. There's been a long-standing interest for a long period of time. I do believe he's flown over for a medical. I think most of the deal has been done. But if we do lose out on this, and sorry, my point was going to be, I was never even overly concerned whether we got this player or whether we didn't. It's just David Moyes wanted him. As I mentioned yesterday, I feel there are other priorities. But put that to one side. Even if this is the marquee signing, the guy that David Moyes really wants, and actually what happens is we miss out on this player, then I was going to say there's only one person to blame. Oh, there's not. There's loads. I mean, there's loads and loads of people to blame for this one. Because I didn't know this was going to happen. When I did my video yesterday, and I mentioned about the composition of the board, and do you remember I said death by council? I didn't know this was going to happen. I couldn't help but look at this thinking, is this it? Is this exactly that playing out? This sort of death by elongated committee that takes eons to get anything done. That's eons, not Ian's. There's no Ian's at all. Ian's got nothing to do with it. Because here's the thing, right? The board is vast. There's loads of them. I mean, there are loads of them. It's not just David Sullivan, David Gold and Kretinsky. You've got Kretinsky's mate, Horsinski. It's not Horsinski. I think it's just Horsky. Horsky? Whatever. Something like that. David Gold has got a couple of his. I don't even think my daughter might be on there, and I think possibly his son-in-law's on that. I might have that wrong. Excuse me if I do. But I think we're up to 60. I think, you've got... also, you've got Jack Sullivan... and you've got David Sullivan Jr. I think there might be one other. There's loads. I mean, there's absolutely loads. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest here. I find it difficult enough when there's 4 people in the house and we've got to order a takeaway. And nobody can decide what they want. It's people change their minds. They all seem to want what I want, They all. It's quite funny, actually. They all decide once they'll order something boring. Then mine arrives, and they say, "Oh, do you know what? I do actually fancy the lamb boona and the chicken shashlik. Oh, and the mushroom rice. Yeah. Anyway, it's hard enough ordering a tandoori for 4 people, right? Never mind getting a boardroom to convene and all get together and decide on a transfer strategy. So I think this is a match made in hell. A match made in absolute hell. Because what you've got is this board with too many component parts. Then you've got a history of David Sullivan being quite bad at negotiations. Okay, I'm not going to go over with all the historical examples of it, but I think it's fair to say that. Then you've also got somebody like Kretinsky who's come in. We don't even know. He may well be the skintest billionaire, or the tightest, meanest billionaire. I've not seen the colour of his money yet, basically. Okay, I've yet to see it. Anytime I hear that he might well help us buy any players, and he's not, all his money's gone to pay off Gold and Sullivan so far, right? That's all that's happened. It's paid off their loans, paid off their debts. There's been a new share issue, right? Anytime I've met it remotely gets mentioned that Kretinsky might give us money to spend on players. It's called a loan, right? It's not like, he's worth £3 billion. Not at the moment, not a single penny has gone towards players at all. I think there ain't any money being ploughed in for that. I don't mean we've got no money to spend. I just think any money we've got to spend is coming from sponsorship, from ticket revenue, from competition prize money, from like the Europa League, and of course television money. I don't think any of the owners are putting any of their money in, right? But that's not to say, David, that could still be a sizable sum. Might be an 80 million transfer, Kitty. Don't know, right? Anyway, so that is quite stifling. Just that on its own to try and sign players, right? Then you've got this other aspect, which is David Moyes, who's now got another geezer in charge, which is Rob Newman. This is, I mean, let's be fair, David Moyes is not quick of signing players. So then you've got this other component part. Newman was meant to brought in to help. I'm not sure he has helped. He might even be slowing up the process even further. So he's divering, and then he's got his mate in there divering as well, and you've got these million people on the board, and while this is all happening, Newcastle come in and say, hello, right, oh, look, he don't look a bad player, maybe we'll have him. And they don't have all these component parts. The manager turns around and says, oh, yeah, please, I'll have another player. Look, I know they got money. I understand that. But our way of doing business is so bad that I don't think you necessarily need to have money. You just got to be quicker. You just got to be more efficient. Now, I am fully aware that by the time this video is released, we may well sign a Gerd. Right? And if we do, then great. I am fully aware that this might just be a final play by his agents to drive up the transfer negotiations. I am fully aware of that. But this isn't just about him. This is about our model and the way we do things for signing players, but our mechanism for signing players, which I just think is absolutely crap. I really do. I've spoken before about the lack of common sense, how we don't understand what might be attractive to the club. We don't understand. We just go and bid for Rafinha or Calvin Phillips. It doesn't seem to enter our minds that actually the fact that Leeds United are in a transfer, are in a relegation scrap might be a factor. No. We go and bid for Darwin Núñez. We don't even really consider that actually just, Benfica have got a game coming up in whatever it was, the quarterfinals of the Champions League against Liverpool. And that's not factored into it. It's the common sense element is missing. Even the Jesse Lingard one, which I've mentioned. The fact that Man United were never going to sell us Jesse Lingard. Why? Because we were like that. We were neck and neck in the league all season. They were never going to sell to a rival, no matter how ridiculous it is. West Ham calling Manchester United a rival. Recent seasons, they have been, right? And this is my point. There are a number of reasons why we're just not slick in the transfer window. And the ridiculous thing is, and I don't want to... It's really hard to appraise Newman because I don't really know what he does. Well, there's one thing I do know, though. So you can, when you don't really understand everything, you can only go on the information that you've got. As far as I was concerned, Newman was brought in to help. Okay? To facilitate transfers coming through. To oil the wheels, if you like. It doesn't seem to have helped. Right? I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't seem any slicker. It doesn't seem any better. Unless you're privy to some information that I don't. He's had one official transfer window so far. This is his second one. First one was the January transfer window. First time we hadn't signed anyone in ages. Now we've got this one now. I'm not blaming it all on him. We've got a £3 billion investor. I would expect us to have more money. Does it seem like we got more money? It doesn't really, does it? Because it's a match made in hell. As far as we're concerned from fans, you put all these component parts together. The billionaire that does the billionaire, what's it with deep pockets and short arms? The long-term owners who, let's be fair, you've only got to go back to Sporting Lisbon, Willie Carvalho escapade to find out they're possibly not the most fluid in terms of transfers. Added with a sort of dithering, slow manager. I mean, I only mean in transfers, by the way. I only mean in transfers because here's the thing. I think it's a match made in hell as far as us fans are concerned. Actually, as far as the board are concerned, I think it's a match made in heaven. I mean, he's really careful with their money, our money. I mean, let's be fair, if they're not putting their own in, it's our money, right? It's our Sky TV money. It's our ticket money. It's basically, look, without the fans, there's no money. I know they're probably, maybe the owners might think, well, we did all right without any fans in the stadium. Look, without fans buying the Sky TV subscription and Amazon and BT, I'll tell you now, there's no revenue at all, right? Let's be fair. No one's going to put that right on a shirt. That's a sponsor. That's not breasts. That's a sponsor, right? No one is going to sponsor a shirt if the fans ain't even going to see it, right? So, but I do think that they probably appreciate that David Moyes is careful with the money. I do think if what they're going to do is run West Ham on a sustainability model, then actually David Moyes is the perfect guy. It's probably then a match made in heaven. The board can all get together, have their Zoom call. There must be loads of little squares on the screen when they're having a Zoom call. And decide, because every time you've got to spend over £1 million, has got to be decided upon. I guess the board have a vote or something like that. Like I said yesterday, I don't think you should be silly with your money. I think you should look after your money. But as I mentioned yesterday, what you don't do is have one of these meetings halfway through the bloody transfer window. You should have already agreed that you are going to spend more than £1 million, so you don't have to have these bloody meetings all the time anyway. But for them, it is probably a match made in heaven. And let's be honest, even if we don't sign this Agurd, even if we don't sign him, West Ham would probably be all right. David Moyes is a really good manager. Bono would be back. We probably wouldn't sell Diop. We'd have Dawson still there. Zuma, obviously still probably picking up litter for a little while yet. But we would be able to put out a decent defence. We probably would finish mid-table. And I think the board would be cool with that. I really do. I won't go to the full extreme and say that's it, the board aren't going to invest, we're going to get relegated. I don't, because I think they've got a really good manager who'll basically put a team out and get a tune out of them. I think we will, next season, we'd win games that traditionally West Ham wouldn't win. But it's rubbish in that sense, because we're a real chance. We've got a chance to push on. For the first time in a long time, we've got good foundations. All right, I know Stuart Pearce has left, but we've got a solid coaching set-up. We've got a core group of decent players. Add 5 or 6 to them, we'd have a really, really good team. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel that the current leadership model is a bit crap.